Hey, what's up, champions? Welcome to Growth Mode. I'm your host, Donnie Bovine. I'm the CEO and founder of Success Champions, and I've spent a lot of damn years now in the sales game, learning how to do sales best and break it down just big bird style for people. I've also spent it for almost 4 years now learning how to scale and grow a business. Hanging out with me, as always, my buddy Kevin Snow. He's a sales and automation tactician and an okay guy, you know. And on this show, man, we talk about everything about how you can grow and scale your business and make it suck a little bit less doing the whole sales side of things. So, Kevin, what the heck are we talking about today?
Good day, everyone. So, I didn't know if I want to
On this episode, I'm going to give you some really shitty advice. Probably some really dumb advice that you probably shouldn't listen to. But it's what I did, and I'm glad I went that way. And I learned a lot in the process. So, my short answer is should you quit your business and start a company? Is yes. And that's the dumbest advice on the face of the earth that I can give you. And the reason it's dumb is because you're about to embark on the toughest journey in your freaking life of going from zero to some sort of business that will cover your finances. If you haven't heard my story, it was, 2017. I walked away from a business partnership, launched Success Champions, and, 6 months later, I was looking at my wife saying about to lose everything I freaking own. And man, it was tough. It took every mental fortitude I had to stay in the game, not throw in the towel, and finally build a business that's somewhat respectable. But logically, you shouldn't do what I do. What do you think, Kevin?
So, there's one part of that story that you didn't tell that is like my favorite part of the story. What did your wife tell you?
So when I stood on the back porch of the farm and looked at my wife and said, "Babe, we're about to lose everything," um, she could have said a lot of things, but the choice phrase she said was, "Donnie, get off your ass and go sell something." And the beauty of that statement was, for me, being a business owner, was, the guy behind the scenes. You wore the nice clothes and you did the accounting and the operational stuff, and you weren't out front actually doing business development like activities. So I'd found myself in my business in a spot of behind the scenes, and when she told me to get off my ass and go sell something, it was a light bulb flip the switch moment to allow me to get out front and start selling, and doing what I'm good at.
So, I think that's pretty indicative of people that are starting businesses in general, though. Everyone, when you start a business, has this idea that I'm going to start this business and it's going to be awesome. I'm going to make a ton of money. I'm going to have all this freedom and it's just going to be a field of roses. And that's not actually how it works.
No,
And
God.
that is a huge, I think that's a huge awakening for new business people once they actually come to that realization.
Well, and I think there's a flip side of that too. Because so many people are saying, turn your passion into a business, or the other stupid shit of, do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. You know, that kind of shit drives me up a fucking wall because I love what I do. And I've never worked harder in my fucking life. Putting all this together, it's a lot of fucking work. And, put it on top of there, if you do only your passion, like, if you're a leathersmith and all you do is leather work, but you never get out and sell, you're not going to have a business for very fucking long. You know, uh, you got to be able to sell to run a business. There's no way around it.
Yeah, running a business is a ton of work. You and I have had conversations in the evening where we're both just like, I'm beat.
Yeah.
I'm dead. I'm like, what are we doing? But that is the nature of running a business. And we talked about it in our work-life balance episode that, there isn't actually balance when you are a business owner. You are always going to be thinking about your business. Something's always going to be popping into your head. So, I agree with you. If someone wants to start a business, yes, go do it. You're going to learn so much about you. You're going to learn more about being a business. And even if that business fails, which most do, and that's fine, failure isn't horrible as long as you learn something from it. And that's just it. If you start a business, you're going to learn a ton.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I hear people all the time, and I'll go back to a conversation I had with a guy when I was doing sales training, and he was selling life insurance, just miserable, hated it, was making good money though, and, he just hated every bit of it. And he sat down with me and he wanted to have a what am I going to be when I grow up type conversation. And, this dude wanted to, do hobby and craft fairs, because his wife had a crafting type, hobby on the side. He loved crafting and everything else. And I looked at him and said, quit the life insurance and go literally start, crafting and do the trade shows and everything else. And he looked right back at me and said, but I have 3 kids. I've got, this big mortgage. I've got these cars and everything else. And I said, I'm going to be a complete ass in this moment and look right back at you and said, you just used your kids as a fucking excuse to not go after life. The fuck is the matter with you? Because at the end of the day, we get one shot on this rock. And if you're not going for it, you're fucking teaching your kids the same damn thing. You're teaching your kids not to go for it.
So, what about in that situation specifically? The ones where the business you want to start is not high ticket sales. It's like if you go out and sell a consulting package, or I go out and sell a consulting package, I need to sell one, and I can pay my mortgage to do all that stuff. Crafting, you got to sell a lot of crafts to pay your mortgage. So what do you think about in that situation of people saying, well, I'm going to start this on the side and we're going to grow this?
I'll tell you, I got a fly flying around this motherfucker. But I will tell you that for sure that the dumbest advice I gave you was to quit your job and go start a company. The smartest fucking way to do this is to do it as a side hustle until the income replaces your current income level so that you can legitimately go out and comfortably leave the job and do the craft thing full time. And it's a really smart way to do business. Start the craft show type thing. Hit the craft shows on a weekend. Take your kids with you. Let them get immersed in being an entrepreneur world, what it takes to build a business, and start. Or start an online business selling your crafts where, you put together small YouTube videos. You create a Facebook page and all this stuff to start building on a business and start selling your crap. But don't let... And people are like, well, the kids got school and then they got homework and they got this. I'm like, they're going to go to bed at some point. Spend an hour in the fucking evening doing the side hustle type thing. Build the damn thing. And then get it done. It's just... I think the only reason people don't legitimately go and start a business or chase their dreams or do the things that they want to be doing is because it scares the shit out of them, and I think that, you've got to do the stuff that scares the piss out of you, or you're going to stay the same person you are right now, and that person got you here. probably time to level the fuck up and do something bigger and better, with your life and on your journey.
Yeah, I'm all for the side hustle thing as well. My one big warning would be, if you're going to start a side hustle, make sure you keep the whole, this is going to be my future full-time thing. This is going to be my business. This is going to be the one source of our revenue at some point. And keep that in the forefront of your mind. Otherwise, you're going to get used to having this two sources of revenue. And now you're going to be like, sweet, we have extra money. We're going to do this. We're going to pay for that. And all of a sudden, you've just created two jobs.
Right.
And you're never going to leave the first job because you now need that revenue to sustain, because you've now moved into that higher class of living. And now you just basically fucked yourself.
Yeah, no, I hadn't even thought in that direction, but you're absolutely right. And because unfortunately, most people, when they start a business, that's what they do. They don't actually start a company. They create a really shitty job for themselves. And I can see that as a side hustle, that you actually create two jobs that you don't like, but now you're living off this fucking dual income versus working towards letting one replace the other.
Yep.
So yeah, that's huge, man. Fuck, that's a Team Kevin move, and I'm totally on that. That sucks. But really, at the end of the day, he's 100% right. That you've got to keep your eyes focused on exactly what you're trying to accomplish. Look, I'm not telling everybody that they need to start a business or start a company. Some people just flat out shouldn't even give it a go. But if you're thinking about it, contemplating it, or have any desire, fucking do it. But if you cannot physically handle getting punched in the face by life every fucking day, and every day waking up going, fuck, here we go again. And then turning around going, oh my God, this is the greatest shit ever. Then turning around going, oh my God, I'm about to fucking lose everything. Holy shit, I just landed my largest account. Oh my God, how do I pay the mortgage?
All in one day.
Yeah.
That was just one day.
If you're not ready for that fucking adventure, then don't do it. But I promise you, the greatest reward of running and building your own company is 100% you're going to meet yourself along the way. Because there's no excuses left. You can't blame the economy. You can't blame your kids, your family. You can't blame, clients, anything else if shit goes south. It's on you. And when you get to a spot in life where everything's fucking on you, man, you got no choice but to meet yourself. And on that journey, man, figure out your strengths. Figure out what you're made of. Double down on what you're good at. That's why Kevin and I work so well together. He's a goofy, weird, quiet guy behind the scenes, and I'm the sexy, good-looking dude out front. I mean, it works great.
One, am I really that quiet? And two, are you really that sexy?
Yes, that's a thing. So, but yeah, seriously, guys, at the end of the day, the dumbest move in the world is to leave your current job and start a business. I think it's the right move. I highly recommend you do that. It's stupid advice. I know that. So nobody come back to me and say, well, you told me to leave my job and start a company. Yeah, that's your fucking choice. Right? But for most people that aren't ready to be punched in the face that hard, do the training wheels, do the side hustle until that income replaces your current income, and then go all in.
It's, in sales, how at the beginning of the month you go from hero to zero.
Yeah.
And that's it's a monthly thing, and you get into that process. Well, as a business owner, it's like a daily thing.
Yeah, for sure.
You're the hero. It's like, all right, well, it's a new day. Now where am I going to get money? And it's not it's not a monthly quota anymore. It's like, sweet. It's now like, fuck, it's Tuesday.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So, guys, do us a favor. On this episode, if you got any tips, tricks, or any advice for yourself that is of value, do us a favor and teach somebody else how to subscribe, follow, or listen to the show. It means everything to us. Until next time, keep fucking rocking. Appreciate you guys.